I'm there like, oh my god, I blame it on Elon. He's taking all I got. Turned up to work and went to start my day. Was barely late, like 9:08. So took my coffee break. Then I got hungry, so I just stopped by the free buffet. But then to my dismay, I heard somebody say, attention human, you have lost, you have not met your quota. Pack your belongings in a box, now it's over. Robot just stole my job. I'm there like, oh my god, I blame it on Elon. He's taking all I got. But I'm in management, I work hard every day. I need these benefits, health and 401k. How could they do this shit though? Where will I trade my crypto? I had a second monitor for Twitter, where will it go? Somebody please stop the bus, I mean not the fuss, but there's lots of us. And now you say you won't pay me to play ping pong because Optimus. I mean who employs a damn humanoid? Some new droid for you to exploit, deploy to destroy your human joy. No lunch breaks, great, get a food deployed. Your time is up, human inferior to me. I'll take it from here, get relieved of your duty. Robot just stole my job, I'm there like, oh my god, I blame it on Elon. He's taking all I got. Robot just stole my job, I'm there like, oh my god, I blame it on Elon. He's taking all I got. It's okay, human, please don't cry. You can always go and become a Twitter thread guy. Make pretty pictures with Midjourney on your new PC. Or make some YouTube videos about ChatGPT. Sucker. Robot just stole my job, I'm there like, oh my god, I blame it on Elon. He's taking all I got. Robot just stole my job, I'm there like, oh my god, I blame it on Elon. He's taking all I got. I mean, I didn't even write this song. I just used ChatGPT because it's way easier. Holy shit. We are so doomed. Robot just stole my job. Robot just stole my job.
All right. Hey, guys. Hopefully you had a good day today. Mine was all right. Got kind of kicked in the nuts and then got a lot better with Tesla. So SoFi sucked. But that's why we do asymmetric bets. If you look here, I actually got kicked from a lot of ends, including my MRI, which was not fun. But Cypher down 10%, right? So the Bitcoin mining area got hit. CleanSpark down 5.77. I bought Samara today. It's down 7.21, but it was down about 8% when I purchased it. Sold out of maybe 12, 13% of my Tesla calls just because I thought we'd reached a peak. And so I wanted to take a little bit of profit because we ran harder than I expected, which is not a bad problem. But again, here's what I kind of want to throw out. So I realized a bunch of gains, right? And then this isn't all of my accounts. So I'm up probably like 160, 70,000 today on a day where I lost six figures on SoFi and, you know, more across the crypto mining space, probably like 60, 70. So made well over $250,000 between all my accounts with Tesla, 275,000-ish maybe. So again, this is why we do diversified asymmetric bets, because on what would have been a bad day, it's a beautiful day for me today. So again, that's why we do it. Now, we are going to be looking at Microstrategy earnings. Ooh, and interesting, I'm seeing a ticker down pretty big already. So let's see here. We're down 6%. Oh, now we're back up, 2.63. So I don't actually know if we have earnings yet on Microstrategy or if we're getting a fake out or what. But big drop, and now we're already coming back up. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let me see real quickly. I'm going to refresh here and see if we have something to look at. I don't think so yet. Let me see here. News press release. Let me just make sure it's not down here. Nope, I don't see anything yet. So we're going to let that sit. I do have the Zoom meeting set for 4 o'clock, so we'll jump into that when it comes up. But for now, we're just going to rock and roll, okay? And I don't, let's see. I'll let you do your thing. All right, quickly. Earnings, right? We already had SoFi earlier today. We'll talk a little bit about my thoughts on that. MicroStrategy we're doing right now. And then we have PayPal tomorrow morning. I'm going to be doing that with Amit. I'll send out a link later today. And so we're going to do a round 2 of that and see if I can, if PayPal has a good day. So if SoFi would have had a good day, which again, we'll talk about it more later, I could have made $500,000 on that today. But if PayPal has a good day tomorrow, that could be anywhere from like 700,000 to $1 million if it had a really good day. So, and they're doing the release in the earnings in the morning for the first time, and as far as I know, in the company's recorded history. And usually when you do that, it's because you're going to be doing the rounds on like CNBC and other news stations, letting them know the game plan. And I don't know. I don't know a lot of people that switch that. Maybe it's just as simple as Chris likes. He's a morning person. I don't know. But we'll see what happens with that. That should be interesting. So we'll be doing that tomorrow morning. And then I don't know, in the afternoon, I might still cover Starbucks. A lot of people cover Amazon. I want to watch Starbucks because of China exposure. I still very much want to know what the reality is in China. So I want to stay on top of that. So that's one of my goals. Here real quickly on the MicroStrategy ticker that I have in front of me, I'm going to go ahead and disable the volume profile because I think that's cluttering up the screen. And I want to be able to see that nice and clear. So again, we got that nice little wick so far. Let's see if it holds. Kumar, when you sell Tesla call options, Jesse, I freak out. I've only sold like 12%. So I've still got, think of it this way. The glass is 88% full and the glass grew like double in this week or this between like last when earnings went and then this week. So in less than a week. And the glass is like more than twice the size of what it was then. So it's still a very full glass. Don't you worry yourself about that. Now a lot more earnings. I'm going to kind of throw out I think polls in each market recap, just asking which earnings you guys want to do next. I might override that poll. You know how I am, but I do want to at least get your input. Who is Nick Young? Thank you for the $3. I appreciate you, sir. So anyway, so for sure, we're doing MicroStrategy today. We're doing PayPal in the morning tomorrow, and then probably Starbucks in the afternoon. But PayPal earlier in the day. And then I don't know, Wednesday looks light, but there's a lot of other shit going on too. I'm sure of that. So we'll go from there. I did do some buying and selling today. So I actually ended up buying more than this. I don't know what the final number is, but I probably put about 50K into SoFi. I know that sounds insane. I'll explain my thesis behind that in a little bit here. But I also, again, I think part of this is low guidance going in for Q2. Your guidance was actually pretty decent, but I think it's lower guidance, just trying to be conservative for potential economic concerns that might arise. You know, there's plenty of people that are trying to be conservative. If you're a JP Morgan bank type, you're going to try and be conservative. And I think that's what Noto's going for. Oh, take a look at MicroStrategy. We're wicking up, guys. Might be a bullish engulfing candle. I think that they're going to blow away fucking earnings because of FASB accounting rules and just a shit ton of Bitcoin. It's pretty simple math, so we'll see how that goes. But I think SoFi got doubly hit today. They got hit because of concerns about the Japanese yen, which I'm not worried about. I'll explain that in a little bit. And then also they got hit. What was the other reason? Another reason. Republic First Bank, not to be confused with First Republic Bank that collapsed last year. I talked about that a little bit yesterday, which is kind of a no-name bank. It doesn't fucking matter at all. Very controlled, no issue whatsoever. So again, I sold maybe 12, 13% of my Tesla calls just because of the sheer amount that I'd made over a short period of time. That theta time component is very important to me. Otherwise, it would probably be like 5, 6% if we were still just kind of coasting and nowhere near where we are now. All right, real quickly, shitcoins down a little bit today. That seems to be the environment across the Bitcoin and crypto world. U.S. economy stuff. Let's see what we got here. Did this resort on me again? I'll be so pissed. Oh, no. Okay. So we're kind of okay. So a couple slides I wanted to go through in case you guys had missed them. Oh, hey, thank you to the almost 500 people that are here. I really appreciate you guys. If you could that would be greatly appreciated. I put a lot into all of this and trying to give good advice. Likes are a great way of showing the appreciation and commenting and just, us chatting. Real quick. So, and for people that are new here too, we're going through the macro. We go through my portfolio. We go through the macro related stuff real quick and economic data and news events of the day. Then I'll talk to my portfolio or the things that I believe are most notable events. And today we're going to try and fit in MicroStrategy earnings call too. I do give the ability to override that along the way. So if it gets boring and we don't really have much to worry about, or it's just not that interesting from a notable standpoint or impact, then we can just vote to move on. And so we'll do that too. But here's what I wanted to talk about right now. So bar chart posted, and I love bar charts. Sometimes I completely disagree with them, but the data is always great. And I love whoever runs the account. I love them. So definitely subscribe to these guys. They're great. It says U.S. corporations are holding $4.4 trillion in cash at an all-time high. Now, I wanted to say, if you look at the pre-COVID baseline and you look where we are now, that's great. And that is buyback and dividend money. We've already seen some of that, right? this last week with major, magnificent seven companies all of a sudden paying out dividends like the rest of them are starting to do. Won't be seeing that from Tesla. They got AI to spend money on. But yeah, so it's very interesting. And this is a lot of money to prop the stock market up. So if you think the market's going to be crashing, not with 4.4 trillion in extra money to do buybacks. Fuck no. And hey, you know who's a really big company for doing buybacks? Who has 12 billion in approved buybacks? This little company called PayPal. I don't know if you heard of them. It's a company I'm hoping to make at least $700,000 off of tomorrow. So stick around for minutes if you want to watch me cry. Or, maybe you hate me. Maybe I blocked you on X because you were being a dick, or I just clicked the wrong button. It's possible. So if you want to watch me cry tomorrow, you got an opportunity. Otherwise, I'll probably just be pouring salt in your wounds. So either way, it should be entertaining. All right. Ryan Detrick, I like this guy. He was talking about the Zweig breadth thrust and the fact that it looks like we're getting ready to have another one, and it's bullish. I'm just going to keep it at that. And then my boy Seth was talking about the same thing. I don't actually know if we closed on this. I need to add this to my indicators. I got all these new tools. Thank you to the 523 people that are here. If you could it would be greatly appreciated. So I need to add that to it. I don't actually know if we closed. Seth, if you're in here, bro, tell me if we closed above that. Now, today, one of the only interesting data points, we'll go over a few more in a second in regard to the economic data that was reported, was the Dallas Fed Manufacturing Index. Here's what I wanted to point out. It wasn't really the headline for today, but I wanted to point it out. Actual was worse than forecast. Okay, whatever. There's no consensus. But what I wanted to point out is the amount of time we've been down and the depth of this is worse than what we saw between 2015 and 16, right around that time. And it's closer to what we saw in 2008 great financial crisis. Now, I'm not saying this is a doom and gloomer. This could actually just indicate, Microstrategy is dropping. Yeah, it's only down 3%. I don't know how interesting that is. We'll see. I'm kind of interested. I just want to hear what Saylor has to say. I don't even give a fuck about their conference call or their company. It's really just a Bitcoin proxy. I just want to hear if Michael Saylor has any nuggets of wisdom because he's such a badass. That's probably it. And if we don't get that, we'll just bail. Fuck it. But yeah, so all I'm saying here is I'm not saying this is doom and gloom. I'm saying that it could suck, but or the inverse of that, and more likely based upon the fact that we might have not been as deep as 2008, but we've definitely been as wide. Again, maybe we trade down here for a while, but if rates start to drop, we're definitely going to do better than China. And so I think that I think this could be interesting. That's all I wanted to say. And let me make sure I didn't. Yeah, that was the last of it. Okay, great. All right. Oh, EPS. We got some MicroStrategy. EPS negative 826 versus 0.134. Estimated sales 115 million. Holdings 214,000. Bonjour. Oh, hey, Wild Frenchie, how's it going? So whatever. They didn't make their guidance. I'm not too worried about it. I really want to hear what the call's doing. And what are they at? Negative 2.78%. I hope not. What do you mean by that? Oh, you think they'll cause more tax issues? Maybe. I guess we'll look at the earnings call and see what happens. All right. So tonight from China, though, for economic data. So this was really the only data point we had, right, for today. We've got more tomorrow. Lots of stuff tomorrow in the U.S. We got employment costs. We got retail sales from Redbook. We've got home prices. We've got PMI. We got consumer confidence. We got services. It's going to be a big day tomorrow. And then we keep getting more stuff all throughout the week. It's going to be a very busy week on the economic front. And also the Fed, the Treasury general account talking tomorrow about what they're going to be doing, the Treasury refunding announcement. That's going to be a very interesting macro sticking point. So I really want to see what's going on with that. All right. So, but yeah, otherwise, China tonight, we're going to be getting tons of PMI information. So I'm very interested to see what that looks like and actually dig into it and see what it really means, since most of the stuff that comes out of China is bullshit, since they've removed over 93% of the reporting. All right, what do we got here? Lithium prices still on the floor. Such a good thing for Tesla. It looks like today we saw gas go down for the UK and Europe. We saw coal prices drop by 1%. We saw Brent and crude oil drop by 1%. So decent amount of droppage on that front. All right, let me pull up some other stuff real quick here. We're going to look at We're going to hit the heat maps real fast. Now that I got all my handy buttons where I don't have to type shit anymore. So I could save you guys' time, including me. Goog, down 3.33%. Very specific. A lot of the technology services were down. I didn't actually pay too much attention to that today. That was interesting. And I don't know if Apple got a sympathy bid from Tesla getting love from China. But Tesla's up 15.31 fucking percent. And I'll show you that chart in a little bit. It looks beautiful. Very exciting. Anyway, this is good. This is good. This is good market breadth. It's nice to see it moving out amongst all sectors of the economy. Can't hate it a bit. Now, I'll do the crypto heat map real super quick. So nothing too interesting here. Ethereum was gaining strength against Bitcoin. You guys got to remember, tonight is the Hong Kong release of the Ethereum and Bitcoin ETFs. I don't know what that's going to mean because it was such a short news cycle for these where it all of a sudden was like, hey, we might do it. Hey, we're doing it. Hey, it's now. So is it going to be a sell the news event when you haven't really had time to digest all of it? I don't know. I don't think so. Let's look at indices, S&P. So S&P today, again, like I called it before on the daily time frame when we were down here on like the 18th, 19th range. Very clean bounce off of the oversold conditions. Beautiful looking stuff. The kind of stuff you want to see on a bull market continuation. I love that we hit the 50 moving average today and are grinding up against that for what appears to be almost 2 days. And just even the way the candle closed is pretty bullish. This little wick up here, almost bullish. I mean, bullishly engulfing the other candle, but it's nice. It's not a bad looking candle. I won't say much more than that. Nasdaq. So what were we up here on the S&P? We were up. Let's see. For the day, we were up 0.32%, and the Nasdaq we were up 0.36%. So that one did a little bit better. And again, love this wick underneath. Love the volume candle that we're above. Really looks like we want to test the 50 moving average on the daily here on the Nasdaq. This just looks bullish. It looks like such a bullish bounce right off the bottom. Thank you for everybody who signed up. There's a lot of people, so I'm not going to go over all the names. But Dee Dee, I just saw yours, and you got a cute dog. So thank you very much for joining. All you guys who support, I'm charging $2.99 a month. Here's what you get real quickly. You get, for the starter pack, you get a stock that you can throw out in chat, and I'll try and hit it during each session. The people that post to the comments before the session starts are the ones that usually get to it first. That's worked out really good. I am planning on lowering the rate, though, to $1.99 next month because I want to get as many people in here as possible so I can benefit as many people and so that we can grow, because I want to look at as many stocks as I can, because I then do additional research behind the scenes if I really like the ones that are being presented, and then those turn into members only videos. I realize for members only, I don't have a playlist that says members only videos. I'll try and fix that too. And then I'm going to create a trailer that when you subscribe and join, it lets you know what you get. I think that's probably smart. But yeah, so if you guys want to join, do it. If you're on iOS, you need to make sure to do the AA thing and then request desktop, or just be on a desktop, because Apple iOS does not like to play nice with YouTube. They don't want YouTube to get too much in the way of revenues. They're in a competition with each other, I guess. But anyway, NASDAQ looking good, very tight. Let's look at the Russell, the 2000, the small caps. I'm loving this today. It was the best performer. And this is what I like to see. This is very risk on, guys. The small caps are the ones that did the best. And then the NASDAQ, which is more tech, like, higher beta assets, they did second best. And then the S&P in last place. I love that. It just screams of market breadth. And it makes me really happy to see it. Now, the dollar today was down, and I've been telling you for weeks that we're just going to kind of chop, and we're doing it. Great, not much else to talk about. Gold. I routinely laugh about how people that hold gold are up 20 to 21%, or 21.5%. I got to give them a little more credit now, since the high of 2011, roughly 13 years ago. Anyway, enough said. Moving on. Oil breaking down. Love it, right? This is what we wanted to see, guys. We had a breakout moment out of this channel, right? This was a clean channel. It had an opportunity to break out. It broke down. It turned into a descending triangle. It collapsed the depth of the triangle and more, which is good. You want to overshoot. And then on the daily, we hit the 50, found a little bit of support on it, tried to go up, created what is now a bear flag, and now we're breaking down out of it. which I'm hoping gets us to the $80 range. I think it's very possible. That's the 200 moving average that I have in dark orange, amber brown, whatever fucking color that is. And that's good. That's a place you'd be likely to find support. If it can't find support and it breaks down to this channel over here, that would be fascinating. So very interested to see what's happening there. And I'll get to chat in a second, guys. I just like to run through the spiel in the beginning. And let's see, Microstrategy is down 2.55%. Boring as fuck. Not much to report there. And we've still got 42 minutes until that starts, so we're rocking and rolling. I'm saving time, guys. I'm getting better at this shit. All right, MOVE Index. This is the bond volatility index. It's kind of like the VIX, but it's for bonds. If this goes up, it's bad usually for equities. If it goes down, it's usually good. I've got a bunch of references here where you can see like March of 2020, where it was at its peak, and then that marked the top. And over here in the banking crisis of March of 2023, it marked the top. And then over here in 2008, during the great financial crisis, it marked the top. And I said over here, hey guys, it marked the top again, and we've got we got a head and shoulders over here, and it wants to break down. It tried to come back up, but I still think it's chopping down into a slow death. And that's enough said about bonds, because that's boring shit. Nobody likes to talk about it. All right, the 2-year. The 2-year actually looks, from a technical level, like it's finding support. Don't love that, but it's underneath the $5 range. I do like that. And we'll see what happens with it. I got to keep an eye on it. The inversion, the 10 2-year inversion that all the bears love to talk about, like this is going to be the worst recession ever because this has been inverted for so long, even though the person who created this metric many years ago says that he's not even fucking sure if it works anymore. And he started to wonder if it is or if it's broken. So, I mean, like, take that for what it's worth. The yen, the Japanese yen, this is the one they were scaring you about today, guys, because it actually broke higher for a minute. And I think it actually did break higher for like a minute. It was right there. It got to it, right? So it got to what I was talking about where we were at this peak level from 1990, but it broke down pretty hard from it. I think that our treasury, and I think treasury specifically, is probably working out the details with Japan. We're not going to let the people that hold the greatest number of bonds in our country by far, especially since China's been selling all of theirs, we're not going to let them start having a selling spree on our bonds. We're going to do everything in our power to make it to where they're doing all right. So we'll see what that looks like. But I think Janet Yellen's going to make sure she's taking care of Japan. Now, China, they don't really give a fuck about. Well, I mean, maybe a little bit lately. But you can see with China, this is not a great pattern right here. It's kind of cup and handly. There's other technical terms, but it doesn't really fucking matter. So if we go up to here, right up here, and like the 734, like the 34 range right around there, that would be bad because it would get their currency to a level that they haven't really seen since 2007. So China becoming rich, powerful. China becoming poor. It's that simple. Rich, powerful, poor. Rich, powerful, poor. So just lock that into your head and then you'll understand how that works. Ruble. The ruble. The dollar is gaining strength against it too. They had this, it was really fucking weird, right? Like you had this you had this crazy time right after the war started in Russia where it just got devalued to shit and back. And then they basically locked out their markets from the rest of the world and closed down their stock market. And then then they changed their interest rate to like 20%. And then they got strength back. And now it's just a bloody mess. Russia is utterly fucked financially. They're in a wartime economy, which is not good if you're trying to, manage your economy. I mean, it can be good if you have a money printer and you're the world reserve currency, but when we have the vice on you, it fucking sucks for Russia, whether they say it does or not. All right, boring shit. Moving on. Put call ratio. How we sitting? Put call ratio. Ooh, remember when it was way up here and I said it wouldn't close the month that way? Looks like that's true. It's in the opposite direction. We like to see that. It's bullish. All right. Next, let's talk about Tessie. Did I get through everything else? No, I did not. My bad. All right. Fear and greed index. Are we fearful today, boys? I made 6 figures today. Am I fearful? I guess I am. Cool. That lets me know I have more time. Next. Stoic Outdoors. Thank you for joining, man. Appreciate it. All right, so this is the CME Fed Watch tool. And this is where we'd go to look at the latest bullshit on what the narrative is for when we're going to cut rates. And then I argue about the fact that it's wrong. It's pretty much a daily thing. All right, 11.5% chance we're going to lower rates in June. Maybe it doesn't happen in June. It's getting close. I want to argue that it will, but I think I would be wrong. July, we've got a 1 to 3 ratio here. And I'm sticking with July. I'm not fucking letting go of that. July, we lower rates. And maybe we do it in June. You know why? Because I don't think the fucking economic data matters. I really don't. I think the Fed has to lower rates because we're paying we went from $350 billion in interest expense a year before the pandemic to over $900 billion a year now. More than Medicare, more than Medicaid, more than our defense budget. And the only fucking way they make that better is by lowering rates. So the Fed does not want to reignite inflation, but I don't know if that's a major concern. But they do desperately need to make it to where they can service their fucking debt. So I think that's what's going to happen. And I'm sticking to it. All right. Tesla. Best performing stock of the S&P 500 today, roughly double the nearest stock. I just want to say, I told you so. To everybody that told me I was an idiot buying the day before earnings, I said, hey guys, it's kind of weird, but every single person who responds on here is telling me that it's going to go down more and that I shouldn't be buying. And so I'm like, statistically, that tells me I'm probably pretty good, because if everybody's bearish, and it's not super fucking bearish of a call, and Elon can manage himself really, really well when he wants to. And you know what he did? He set up the fucking shorts so badly. He let them run around for a month, 2 months, in excitement and glee that they had destroyed him. And the entire fucking time he was getting ready to pivot, cut 10% of the workforce, increase margins, and he knew that they were going to crush Q1 versus what expectations were. He let them set up for a negative narrative, and he totally devastated them deliberately. And if you don't believe me, you'll see some of that in his post here. But this was deliberate, guys. He loves doing this stuff, especially when the SEC's telling him he can't fucking tweet about shit anymore. Again, because of a Supreme Court ruling. So he won't do that, but he'll make sure that they hurt badly. And what better justice? All right, Elon Musk, the man himself, yesterday. Tesla will spend around $10 billion. This was said before, but I just wanted to go over another part of it. This year in combined training and inference AI, the latter being primarily in the car. What he's saying is that they will be training the robot in inference AI as well. And you got to realize, guys, all the cars are AI processing units that are mobile. I don't know if people fucking understand this. I know James from Invest Answers gets it. I've heard him. I've heard a few others, right? But there are a bunch of fucking centralized computing systems that are all communicating with each other, driving around, and they only drive so many hours out of the day in FSD. Otherwise, they're just computers that could be used for processing power. And maybe that means that Tesla reimburses drivers a little bit if there's a certain power expense. But you've got to realize what he's doing between Dojo and just the network itself. It's fucking insane. Anyway, and then there's China and like 1.6 million cars maybe having the ability to have FSD in the future, and already having enhanced autopilot and subscriptions available to them right now. Like, just the small shit. Me getting excited about the pre-market open. I mean, hey. My friend, Dr. Jack, good dude, man. He said, many failed to realize that when legacy autos capitulated and switched from producing EVs to hybrids, it was admitting that they cannot compete with Tesla. Realize that this occurred when Tesla considers producing EVs as a side hustle. AI and robotics, here we come. They don't give a fuck about the EVs. The EVs are just the thing that gets more margin in the future, okay? That's the aspect they care about. They care about being able to produce these so that future income is there. But everything is going into making them to where they're autonomous because the margins on that are sick and game-changing, which is why the stock was up 15.5% today, okay? And we'll go over the stock price, and I'll explain where we're sitting at resistance levels and all this other stuff and what we're probably going to go to next in a little bit here. But this is something you need to realize. And again, Sawyer Merritt pointed out, Tesla's going to increase their compute capabilities by 600% in 2024 versus 2023. It could be 600% to 1,000%, to be clear. It's a fucking lot. And that's going to be very powerful. We have Top Gear that tested out the Cybertruck, and they're like, wow, this thing is amazing. It can take a brutal punishment. Tesla, please to God, give me my fucking Cybertruck. I've already got the mats. I've got the back bed cover. I even got like the things for the tires, the valve cover stems. I got all this shit I keep buying. And I'm just missing one major component. If you guys could please hook me the fuck up with my truck. Every day I look, 3 times a day. I love you, but please give me my truck soon. It's crazy because I thought I was going to pay $60,000 for this truck, and now I'm going to pay $102 at an interest rate that's like 3 times higher than what I thought it was, and I'm still fucking excited for it. And there's so many people that I still can't get it, even though I'm going to pay $102,000 for this fucking thing after a $4,500 deposit and paying a 6% interest rate on this thing, even though I have an 800 plus credit score. And it's so popular, I still can't get it. And then this, to my friend Dr. Jack's comment, I talked about this the other day. Yeah, give Jesse his truck. Thank you, guys. It's all about Jesse getting his truck. That's what's really important in life. I love you guys. All right, but lithium prices are down from, what was it, 600,000 lithium carbonate CNY per ton down to 11,000. Or I'm sorry, 110,000. So like a catastrophic drop in prices. And you have to realize that there are 500 EV makers in China, of which Tesla is one, and 499 other, but only 3% of them actually even stand a chance of fucking surviving in the near future. So all these companies are collapsing, and everybody they had contracts with for lithium and battery systems are going belly up. And so you got all these companies. So Tesla was super focused on the 4680 cells, right? They don't even need to give a fuck anymore. Even though they're doing a good job with it, doesn't matter. They're just keeping up with the Cybertruck ramp. Doesn't even fucking matter, though, because they can get other cells from Panasonic and all these other fucking companies for nothing. They can get lithium for nothing to refine themselves. They're going to start building out their facilities for energy like mad because they can build out. We know energy has massive demand, and the quicker they build that out, those are just sick margins. They're not autonomy margins, but they're fucking sick. They're sick. They're way better than cars. Cars suck. Tesla doesn't even give a fuck about making cars. That's never been the plan. And so energy now can expand at whatever pace they're willing to devote capital to. You have to understand that. Why did I sell 13% of my calls already? I feel like I sold too many. Dumb Jesse. Anyway. The pace of innovation, I just want to talk about this again. This is where I'll stop for Tesla. I'm done with my Tesla rant. I'm stopping at 666. That's kind of frightening, actually, for YouTube people on here. Thank you for everybody that's on here. Please hit the like if you could. If you want to join, do that. It's going to be like $1.99 starting next month. You get to pick a stock and say, hey, Jesse, can you look this up? You can tell me some shit about it. I'll look up the financials. I'll look up the technicals. I'm usually pretty good at it. And then I'll do a members only video and let the whole crew know if this is something that I bought. And then I also tell people like, whoa, I really like this. I'll do research about it. So I think I provide a really valuable service. Please join. I want a bunch of people in here, especially smart people, not assholes. Assholes need not apply. But Tesla, 12.3.6. Omar's catalog, my boy. He took Gergavan on a ride in a Cybertruck, and then I think also his Model S. And Gergavan saw all this shit. And that dipshit, I'm sorry, Gergavan, but you're being a dipshit, still thinks the price target is $80 and hasn't adjusted any of his stuff at all. Even after hearing about all this China-related news, even after everything I've just told you, maybe he needs to spend some time with me. Gergavan, if you don't know what the fuck you're doing, come on here. We can have a conversation, and I can enlighten you as to why you don't know what the fuck you're talking about with Tesla and should maybe just stick to other things if that's the input that you have. As much as I like you, you're being a fucking idiot. So I can help you with that. All right, that's enough of that. We're done with Tesla. Fuck Tesla. Outside of this, I do want to show you this. So again, on the weekly time frame, this was such a no-brainer. I just want to show, for people that are new to this, I just got to show you something real quick, and then I'll get a better view of this chart, right? And Trend Spider had actually showed this too, so I don't want to take full credit. I mean, a bunch of people did, including myself, but he had a really nice chart that I used. So if you look back at Tesla's history, if you bought in 2016, 2019, 2022, December 2022, you were getting anywhere from like 300%, 200%, 3,000% in gains. And so we were falling down there again. And it was a no-brainer, guys. From a technical level, it was a no-brainer. And then we had all this other stuff telling us that if you weren't paying attention, you were being a fucking idiot. I made a video talking about the 4 phases of Tesla. So it's not like I didn't tell you about the consolidation that occurs and then spell out all the times that things were going to be happening and then tell you that we were literally heading at a measured move that was going to be incredibly strong based on so many technical things and fundamental things, right? And I haven't even updated all this stuff, so sorry about that. But again, we're in a good place. We have a gap underneath. Somebody asked about the gap. I don't fucking care about the gap. Maybe it fills, maybe it doesn't. It doesn't really fucking matter at all. Let's see, can I just do this? Oh, I can do that. I don't have to use the scroll bar. I just figured out how to save more time. Oh my God, I love it. Anyway, so we closed over the shorter time frame. We closed above peak volume. Over a little bit higher, we wanted to get above the 100 moving average on the daily. The fact that we touched it, briefly went over it, and then got rejected off of it is still fucking beautiful. We've got 2 gaps below us. We got a whole bunch above us. Only about 90% of gaps normally fill. But for the companies they don't fill on, it would be high beta, high volatility companies that have found a major bottom. So if there's ever a fucking time that we don't give a shit about finding the bot or filling this gap, it's now. And don't get me wrong, maybe we could fill this one. Doubt it. Maybe we fill part of it. Okay, that's more likely. We could test to the 50 down here. That could happen. But don't be confused. The trajectory for Tesla is up in a major way. And that's why I'm in June 2026, $330 strike calls. That's where I was placing my $10 to $16 million bet. I'm probably going to stop at like 4 or 5 million and then just be in stock. But it would be a more than 10x, right? So it's not like a little bitch move. It's a pretty decent move. Thank you to the 674 people that are here. All right. Anyway, Tesla, boring. Move on. PayPal. Wait. I changed my mind. Okay. SoFi. We should really do this one because this scared a lot of people today. So this is down 10.48%. That sucked, right? Like I can't really say it sucked. The quarter, arguably not too bad. Q2 guidance, not great, lowered. Overall yearly guidance, up, conservative. I think Roy, my friend Crossroads on X, he posted about this, just saying that it was literally talk more about Tesla. I talk about Tesla a lot, bro. You know that. I'll go on Tesla, Bitcoin, fucking just a number of things. I go off on rants. Don't get me started. So SoFi, here's the thing. I actually bought more. I put like $50,000 or $60,000 into it because I'm a glutton for punishment, which is why if you look here, SoFi shows 104,000 in loss. I actually don't think I had that much. Ally does a bad job of calculating loss. If you purchase stock on the day, it still counts it as like the drop on the day. And like a fucking insane person, and I don't recommend anybody do this. I'm just personally a little insane. My risk profile is higher than a lot of people's tolerances. But I bought this when it was down about 40% on the day, and I sold Tesla probably for an average of 45% on the day between everything I'd sold. So Tesla up 45% on the day, sold, about 8%, 9% of what I had. The other stuff was from a couple of days ago. And then I bought something that was down about 40%, but has a lot of elasticity into it. It's only a $15 January 17th, 2025 cut dollar call. I think they're lowballing because of economic concern. I think that Anthony is doing the right thing. I think it's smart to lowball. I think it's smart to try and be conservative. It's smart to present themselves as the JP Morgan of the new age of banking. I get it, except without the extremes. But I get it. I think it's an okay move. Here's the thing. I don't care about 15 anymore. I'm only shooting for 10. Oh, here, let me fix this MicroStrategy one. I'm only shooting for 10. So MicroStrategy down 4.64. So I am kind of interested in the call. So we'll listen to it. I am interested to see what happens with that one. But yeah, so I'm only shooting for 10 right now. I might exit completely with 10. 10 would get me probably about double my money. 360 to maybe 400, maybe $450,000 in gains. It could maybe get me $500,000 in gains, and I would take that, and I'd probably just run with it because I've already made like, I think it's 175,000 on SoFi calls, maybe 200. It's hard to keep track because I've done it in a couple of different tranches. But anyways, like an insane person, I took the abundance of money I made, the 260 or whatever on Tesla today, and I took a little bit of that and I put it into this other one that was just devastated. And that usually turns out really well for me because of the research I do in the given stocks. But also the financials, real quickly, of SoFi. I just wanted to show you this. And I'm going to try and rock and roll. I'm going to try and get through all the macro stuff and all my individual stocks, and then get ready for the MicroStrategy call, maybe take a couple of tickers if I can pull it off. I'm a little slow today. I'm ranting a lot. But SoFi, yeah, year over year, still 37%. Here's what got us today. It's just that it's the dip down in guidance, right? The flatness in the revenue streams, because I think they're accounting for additional charge off. Probably they're just doing a lot of things to prep people for the worst. I think it's a conservative bet. I think it's what PayPal did last quarter, and I think it's what PayPal is going to exceed from this quarter, and they're going to do better than expectations. Maybe I make $700,000 to $1 million tomorrow. Watch Amit stream at 8ish in the morning. If you want to see me laugh or cry, I will be there. And it should be a good time either way. And then again, the net income though, a little bit of party tricks to get the net income higher than the previous quarter, but it's good. And new products are okay, and Galileo accounts are good. And their cash versus debt position, their debt position is lower because again, they did all that restructuring, and I like that. I like them. I like these guys being conservative and not being overextended on debt. Now it sucks over here near their growth and growth versus top U.S. banks. Again, they were just so much higher. This was such a beautiful looking chart. And now you see some of these guys like JP Morgan and a few others playing a little bit of catch up, and then SoFi taking a little bit of a dip. But I think that conservative approach and that kind of guidance is very much the same stuff we saw from Elon. It's the same stuff we saw from PayPal with Chris Rock. What the fuck is his name? God, it's escaping me right now. The CEO of PayPal. Jesus, what happened? Anyway, but it's the same thing. It's the same concept, right? And I like it, and I think it's good. I should check short interest real quick, live short interest on SoFi real quick using Ortex. Let me just go over here. This is a fucking cool interface, by the way, but you pay hundreds of dollars a month, and I don't even know if I'm supposed to show you this shit. Got to read the disclaimer more. We're at what's live? I have 18.68. Short interest has increased, so they're going to put pressure on, I think, in the days ahead here. There's the 3-day rule with being able to buy back stock. So I think we could see downward pressure still on SoFi. If I see really good Tesla gains still, and that gets a good bounce back, I might take some of that and again dip my toes in Bitcoin related stuff. Maybe a little bit of SoFi, probably more Bitcoin. But I'll buy a fucking dip. You know me. Anyway, let's move on. Got to move quicker. PayPal. PayPal. So tomorrow morning earnings. These guys got the authorization for $12 billion in buybacks. From a technical standpoint, we are sitting so good here on this chart, guys. So good. It is not a bad thing at all. So again, this goes back years, April of 2022. So we're going back 2 years, and we broke above again that resistance line. Over here, we failed it. Over here, we hit some resistance again, kind of like this trend that we had here. We broke down. We tested peak volumes. That's this red line. We back tested the support line, bounced up hard off of it, then tested this neckline. So far, we're above it. If we can hold it tomorrow and get up close to this fib around the 69 level or break above that, That will be our second higher high. Second higher high, guys. If we get to the 71 or by some miracle we get to 73 or who knows, maybe it's a blowout fucking quarter. I don't know. I'm trying to be conservative. Let's just say over here, if we get that second higher high from a technical trend that has been playing out for years, this is the definition of a bull market cycle. If you don't know what that is, look up the bull market cycle chart. This is the definition of it. It's in a breakout zone. I think we're going to test to 75 very fucking quickly. So, again, tomorrow is going to be hella fun. Can't wait for it. Should be a really good time. And there you go, Crossroads. Here's his kind of report on SoFi. Really good read. Check it out. And I'm in total agreement with everything that he said. And again, hanging out with my boy Amit, I had to ask him, maybe next time the data is on him, we're going to have to see. I don't want to get Kelly jealous. So, got to figure that out. All right, and Gergavan, again, just talking shit about this. I just got to talk a little shit. Ran some quick numbers on Tesla for the next 5 years. My target is $315 for the next 5 years. And then his buy-in is at 85. So confident about that. I posted a video about buying at 69. I wasn't even fucking confident about that. And this guy's acting like with everything that just happened that it's all good and it's going to keep going up. What the fuck ever. That's retarded. All right. So real quickly, Bitcoin. We got 17 minutes on MicroStrategy's earnings. Sorry, I haven't gotten to chat. I will get to it, guys. I promise. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin got its nuts kicked today, but I've been saying I actually think we're going to test down to 60,000, 59,000. I think we're going to go down here, test this as support. Maybe we even get to 57 where we find this over here, overshoot, and then wick back up. Lots of bullshit narratives about the DTCC and just stupid shit about why this happens every fucking cycle. I don't even know what to tell you anymore. It's literally the same shit every fucking time. I don't know how to be creative and like report it as news. It's literally like, oh my God, the halving happened. It's going to be a sell-off event. The miners aren't going to make money anymore. It's all going to die. Let's sell it all off. And then it fucking bounces and then it goes up and then everybody makes a bunch of fucking money. And then they completely flip the narrative just like they did with Tesla. Sawyer Merritt was talking about it today. He's like, I don't know how we could have seen this coming. I mean, if you were with me, you saw it coming because I talked about it all the fucking time. But it was very clear that we were going to have a completely different narrative shift. Now, don't get me wrong. FSD in China, I can't even pretend or allude to the fact that it was going to be that good, okay? It was better than I expected. But the other stuff, the energy stuff, performing better in the quarter than people expected, all these things I said. And anyway, I think Bitcoin's going to do the same shit. That was my long-winded fucking point about that. And then MicroStrategy got a little bounce today. Short interest is still high on this one, but I love that it's finding support above the fib and above the previous resistance level. It looks great. I don't know what else to say on this one. It looks great. It just looks great. This previous resistance level turned into support goes back to the .com bubble because Michael Saylor is the longest acting CEO from the .com bubble. Nobody exists anymore. He's literally in a league of his own. Mara, I bought some of this shit today. I don't love this company. I like Fred Thiel, the CEO. I think they're really shit at managing a Bitcoin mining company, but they're really good at buying Bitcoin, which they did years ago, which was really smart. And I think right now we're super duper duper pooper close to the 200 moving average, which is that, again, orangish amber turd looking thing. Brown, whatever. And we're underneath of it, but I think we're kind of trying to find support over here on the volumes. And if you look over here, this again is kind of turning into support zones, right? So we like to see that. It's actually a really good sign. And I bought some of this shit because, diversification, just to be a hypocrite, because I said it, I exited it twice. I don't know. Fuck, whatever. Something like that. That's why. CleanSpark. I might get all my stuff done, and then I'll do your stuff after the conference call. And again, I'll do a vote after we hear like the good, the soups, and the nuts of the conference call. If we want to bail, we can bail. They're down 7% today. Oof. Hey, cool, man. Maybe I can get some more MicroStrategy. That'd be fucking great. You got to remember, though, this thing is selling at a wicked premium versus their underlying Bitcoin. So, I don't know. Maybe FASB did work okay, but maybe it's just the disgusting premium that's finally coming back. And I mean, I say that. I had $290,000 in this. So It's not like I don't want it to go up, but fuck, go down, bitch. That's great. I'll buy that. And then again, so Clean Spark down 5.77, down 1.38. I think the miners are going to have a sympathy depression because of what's happening with Microstrategy. Maybe we get a bounce tomorrow, but I could just see more blood here, and I would love that actually, because if Tesla's taking off and I can just nibble off little bits of that money printer, like today when it went up 270 or 250, 60, whatever I ended up at, I don't even fucking know. Like, that's just like, it doesn't get any better than that. This is why we do diversified asymmetric bets. I love it. Cypher, get through this one real quick. Oh, and I got a couple others that I want to hit. All right, this one down 10%, whatever, fuck it. It's finding support on peak volumes. If we look over here, if we change this view to here, and then I start using this, if you look over here, it's kind of like the same line the whole fucking way. We're right on the fib. It doesn't fucking matter. It's going to sit here. Might go under it for a second. Doesn't matter. Buy more, whatever. Robinhood. Robinhood, up to no good. Actually, up to some good. Trying to find support over here on the fib, and I think it's going to do it. So it went down today 3%. It's up 0.23 in after hours. Maybe it has a sympathy drop depending upon what some of this other shit does with like coins coming up in a 36 hours. Coinbase, sorry. And so that might be a thing. This is already down 79%. This is a great fucking company, and they're giving me a solid gold credit card, which I fucking love. Thank you, Robinhood. Vlad, I want to hang out with you sometime since you're friends with Amit now. I would like to spend time with you just because I like the movie. All right, SoFi. Maybe not your part in it, but you seem cool, and I feel like you figured it out. All right, and it was really Citadel. Let's just be clear. It was Citadel. They suck. Now, again, SoFi. Why the fuck did I pull up? I don't want SoFi. Square today, up 1%. Earnings coming up here real quick. And I don't know. I'm excited about this one. I think earnings are Thursday. Is that right? Yeah, let's say that. Let's say Thursday. Or weeks from now. Fuck, I don't know. I'll let you know. Palantir still, I mean, this is a tweezer bottom. This is a great way to bounce off a fib and previous resistance levels. I don't own any Palantir. I'm kind of thinking maybe I should. But again, it doesn't seem like a short-term asymmetric bet for me, which is why I don't care. And I already made $600,000 off of Palantir last year. So I'm kind of holding off for now. Buying other stuff. ARKG, other stuff. ARKG today up 3%. I think we're trying to get back above this previous, resistance line that we couldn't turn into support, Now I think we're finally going to turn it into support, and then we're going to go higher. And I think that I'm going to make an option video on this fucker because the options are ridiculous. You guys need to understand. Flux up 10% today. I wasn't even looking at this. It's a small cap. It's very speculative. It's only an $80 million cap. They've got earnings coming, I think, next week. This is one I got from my boy Rex Finance. Is that right? Fuck, Rex something. He's a 26-year-old kid. He's brilliant. He's on YouTube. But look up Flux, and you could probably find his video. We got back above, again, what I said before. I should say at least from here. From the shorter time frame, and by shorter, I mean the last 2 years, we are above peak volumes, getting real close to it. Yeah, above peak volumes right here. If I line this up, we're above peak volume. And above the fib line again, and again above the 50, the 100, and the 200 moving averages. I think this thing wants to launch, but they need to have a good earnings. So we'll see what happens with that. Let me pull up DLO. I forgot to add it to my board. And then we've got 9 minutes, so I might be able to do somebody else's stock pick. I think I got all mine. I think I talked about a lot of shit. This is kind of what I do. And I'm trying to get more efficient at it. I got some new toys, the Stream Deck. That's kind of cool. DLO, so this is like knockoff Mercado Libre kind of. It's finding support. It's been brutalized. It's a $4 billion company. Their financials actually look pretty good. I'll show you what some of that looks like. All right, whatever. Moving on. All right, hit the like button. I love that idea, Disease Kodak. If you guys could do that, it's very much appreciated. Thank you to everybody that signed up today. It seems like a lot. And if you do that, again, you get to pick a stock and I'll try and go through it. And on these non-earnings event things, I do way more. And I've got something called like a Monday's market or weekend recap. I don't know what the fuck to name it. So I do that on Sundays at 6. And I also take ticker symbols then too. So you can catch me Monday through Friday and Sunday. Maybe Saturday. I don't know. I want to pretend like I have some life. Brandon, thoughts on Lululemon after recent pullback for long-term hold to diversify? Thanks, man. I can look at that. Now, Lululemon, actually, I don't know if their earnings are coming soon. I know they're pretty strong. When they move, they move. And again, they had this consolidation zone from like 2011 to 2017, and then they just really took off from 46 all the way up to, 523. You got an easy 10x off of that, almost 11. Can't hate it. They went back. They're a $47 billion company, though. And when I look at them, I'm just going to pull this over all the way to the end to make this easier. And here's what I like to do, guys. I don't just look at technicals and like a chart like most people. I think almost everybody does. I like to look at the financials and actually tell you if it's worth it. Because if you look at the technicals, you know the macro environment it's in, and then you know the financials, you might be missing some detail, but you got a pretty well-rounded picture. And so that's what I try and do. So revenue growth year over year, 16%, steady, not bad. If we look at yearly, looks good, right? Nice amount of growth. Estimates for it are still going up. We got the seasonality in Q4 where they just sell a lot of shit, right? That's when everybody buys shit for Christmas. So things are looking okay here. Net income, we don't have a Q4 net income, but I'm willing to bet it's probably a good one. There's only in 2022 where it really sucked for Lululemon. But since then, again, 2023, they did well. So I'm saying 2024, they do well too. And insider sales, let's see, we don't really have any major sales at all, and buys have outpaced sales since at least Q1 of 2023. Institutional ownership's ticking up, and its short interest is low. Now, stock-based comp, let's see how bad is it. It's only 0.73% of revenue. That's really nice. Probably acceptable for retail. They have a large asset portfolio. They got about 2.25 billion, and it looks like just cash. I don't know why they don't have more bonds. Maybe they just need the liquidity. But anyway, they've got 1.15 in debt. They're buying back shares. Their operating expenses, I mean, it's a retail company and they've got physical low stores, so they can only lower their expense so much. So it's pretty much growing at a steady pace. Cash flow was good last quarter. Net income, I'm not sure why, but 669 million is not bad. So this thing has a forward PE of 25. It's not that badly valued. It's not a great asymmetric opportunity. That's my take on Lululemon. And if you own it, it did appear to find some support over here, but it could chop in between these ranges of this next fib for a while. So between the 340 range and the 400 range, it could just do that for a while. I don't know if retail is the best thing to be in right now. Maybe not. Macro, Intelligent Computing said, congrats on your Tesla leaps. Thanks, man. Intelligent Computing, China backlog, Tesla's FSD. Oh my God, this is huge. Dude, they already have enhanced autopilot subscriptions that people could start signing up for now, and then FSD is going to kick in there too. And then all the FSD from the free trials where people are like, shit, this might be worth $99 in the States. And then so you have all that, and then you have a massive energy expansion that's just going to start to explode. The margin is the name of the game. There is no doubt whatsoever that Tesla is not a fucking car company. It's a SaaS company. SaaS. And I say the two A's because I accidentally misspelled it in like a couple of my posts. So sorry about that. I used to be really good at that a long time ago. Two big S's, two little A's, right? Is that it? Anyway. So yeah, Tesla's going to fucking crush it. Edwin Reyes, thoughts on Palantir, please and thank you. Oh, wait. We might. I'll look at, I already looked at Palantir. They're a great fucking company. I will buy Palantir. I think it's a great hedge against war. I don't know about immediately, but I love, there's a couple of CEOs that you have to love because they speak the truth and they speak what they believe. I think that I can think of actually maybe a few examples, right? So we've got Anduril, we've got Palantir, we've got Tesla. They're like my faves. Maybe Anthony Noto, maybe Vlad. Vlad is a little more like, I don't know. He's more measured. He doesn't really do any of that stuff, right? He's a little more like woke or whatever. But again, these guys are great. Palantir's a great company. I fucking love them. Yim Cheng Tang, thoughts on SoFi and any further analysis on DLO and Flux. I think DLO and Flux are going to do good. And again, I kind of gave my thoughts on SoFi. I think it's going up. I think it's going up to at least 10, and I think I can double my money or more. That's all I care about. All right, so let me check real quickly. I need to see if we got the conference call going, and if we have. Nope, not yet. A couple minutes, and then let me see if there's any documentation that I should be referring to. Maybe we could take a look at that. Oh, we do have the presentation. Yep. Oh, maybe we take a look at this real quickly. Let me turn this off, my dark reader. Forward-looking statements, don't give a shit. I'm just here for the pretty charts. Okay, Bitcoin holdings acquired a total of 7.5 billion, or 35,180. 35,180. This man made so much. People made so much fun of this guy. Subscription services, 22% year-over-year growth. Cool. Nobody really gives a fuck about that though, but nice. Total market cap value of Bitcoin holdings, 14 billion. So this is the problem, right? This is why people are crushing this, right? This stock. It's because if we look at the stock, oh, and let me get the little ticker up. If we look at the stock, it's got a $22 billion market cap. That was before earnings. It did just bounce off the fib. $22 billion market cap, and it's got 14 billion in Bitcoin holdings. So it's like, that's a little bit off. But I would buy the shit out of this because I think this can 2 to 3x. We're going to have wild swings, guys, wild short squeezes. Shit like you haven't seen since GameStop, AMC. Only it's going to be a real fucking company that's got shit tons of Bitcoin and stupid fucking people that are dumb enough to short it. So I will be buying that dip in bulk. All right, please wait while the webinar starts. I don't see a webinar. Got a couple minutes. Okay, keep going. Total market cap of Bitcoin holdings, 14 billion. Largest corporate holder of Bitcoin in the world. Cool. Grow AI and cloud. We've got a multi-cloud, cloud-native marketplace, bunch of buzzwords. Microstrategy AI, sure, why not? BI, business intelligence, artificial intelligence. These are these two things, right? First to market in AI BI cloud offering, Microsoft Azure OpenAI partnership, Auto SQL. SQL is structured query language for you people who don't do a lot of querying with SQL. Dashboard answers, expert embedded customizable, so a bunch of fucking buzzwords. Microstrategy, cloud, focus on customer migration and new business growth, accelerate subscription revenue growth on Azure 8. Yeah, whatever. It's fucking, I've worked for so many software companies. These things are so boring. Bitcoin development company. All right, so let's look at our base. Increase Bitcoin holdings and share value. That's the bottom of the pyramid. 825 million in total excess cash on balance sheet invested, 3.2 billion of equity issued, 3.6 billion in senior secured and convertible debt outstanding. Some of the debt they have on their Bitcoin is like 0.25% interest with a 5-year term. Michael Saylor's fucking brilliant. Anyway, cash, equity, debt. Bitcoins and software development, Bitcoin holdings, excess cash, Bitcoin development company. I really want to hear what they're doing from the Bitcoin side of things. That's why I'm here. All right, are we starting yet? Oh, all right. I'm going to allow them. I think I'm going to unmute this real quick, guys, and see what's going on. I might go dark for a sec. Are we going? Is there fucking any audio? Come on, bitches. Where are we at? Update your browser to the latest version of Chrome. Fuck you. You are not doing that to me. You son of a bitch. 1 second here. Oh, fuck you. You are viewing somebody's screen. I can't hear anything.
SEC. We assume no obligation to update these forward-looking statements, which speak only as of today. Also, during today's call, we will refer to certain non-GAAP financial measures. Reconciliations showing GAAP versus non-GAAP results are available in our earnings release and presentation, which were issued today and are available on our website at microstrategy.com. I would like to welcome you all to today's webinar and let you know that we will be taking questions using the Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen. You can submit questions throughout the webinar, and Michael, Fong, or Andrew will answer questions at the end of the session. Please be sure to provide your name and your company's name when submitting your questions. Now, I'll walk you through the agenda for today's call. First, Fong Li will cover the business results and the key pillars of our strategy. Second, Andrew Kang will cover the financial results for the first quarter of 2024. Then Michael Saylor will provide a strategic review and discuss our recent Bitcoin market updates. And lastly, we will open up to Q&A. With that, I will turn the call over to Fong Li, President and CEO of Microstrategy.
Thanks, Shirish. Hello, everyone. I'd like to welcome all of you to today's webinar. We're excited to be reporting live from Microstrategy World 2024 in Las Vegas, Nevada. We have a packed agenda lined up for the next 3 days, and we're excited to see our customers, partners, analysts, shareholders, and employees all in person to share our passion for BI, AI, Bitcoin, and innovation. The Business Intelligence track tomorrow will feature my keynote presentation titled, Let the Data Lifeblood Flow, and we'll explore how to create more innovative, competitive, high-performing organizations by using AI and BI to make smart data more accessible to the frontline employees. Our Chief Product Officer, Saurabh Abhyankar, will share the latest MicroStrategy technologies for delivering convenient, flexible, and reliable data within operational workflows, not just in dashboards, to everyone who needs it. The keynote presentation will feature guest speakers from Microsoft, Amazon Web Services, Bayer Pharmaceuticals, the U.S. Department of State, and Vuori. Throughout Microstrategy World, more than 30 top brands, including MassMutual, Pfizer, Fannie Mae, Victoria's Secret, and NBC Universal, will present how they use the MicroStrategy platform, Gen AI, and the cloud to become truly data-driven businesses. The Bitcoin for Corporations track on Wednesday and Thursday will feature notable institutions and industry luminaries, highlighting the advantages of integrating Bitcoin as a part of their corporate treasury and product offerings. It will be a unique gathering of corporations that are already adopting or looking to adopt Bitcoin strategies, and we are very excited to host this event. Also, for the first time, we will live stream our world keynote as well as all the Bitcoin for Corporation sessions. For those of you attending the conference here in Las Vegas, we look forward to seeing you in person. Turning to the business highlights for Q1 2024. MicroStrategy remains the largest corporate holder of Bitcoin in the world, now holding 214,400 Bitcoin, with a total Bitcoin market value of $14 billion as of yesterday. Since December 31st, 2023, we acquired an additional 25,250 Bitcoin for a total purchase cost of $1.6 billion, an average price of $65,232. This past quarter, the price of Bitcoin appreciated significantly, spurred notably by the approval of the spot Bitcoin exchange traded products, or ETPs, which has drawn considerable institutional attention. We believe the introduction of spot Bitcoin ETPs further evidences the maturation of Bitcoin as an institutional-grade asset class, with broader regulatory recognition and institutional adoption. We remain highly committed to our Bitcoin strategy with a long-term focus. Andrew will provide further.
Yes, they bought more
details
fucking
on our
Bitcoin because that's what
purchase
Saylor
activity
does.
for
He's a
this quarter.
boss.
MicroStrategy is also positioned as the world's largest independent, publicly traded business intelligence company. Our objective is to grow in AI and cloud-powered BI software. We have over 1,800 employees focused on our software business, devoted to achieving our vision of intelligence everywhere. In the first quarter of 2024, we continued our shift towards our cloud offering, resulting in subscription services revenues of $23 million, an increase of 22% year over year. A strong growth in our subscription services revenue was driven by both existing customer migrations to the cloud and new customer wins. Our customer renewal rate continues to remain high, and our subscription billings remain strong. Overall, we continue to see further global adoption of our cloud platform as a result of transitioning our business strategy and product offerings from an on-prem perpetual license software company to a cloud-native organization. Our key strategic goals in 2024 are to grow cloud, innovate with AI, and increase profitability. Customers can benefit from a range of innovative first-to-market AI-powered functionality, powered by the Azure OpenAI LLM. Capabilities include Auto SQL, which allows users to generate SQL using natural language, Auto Dashboard, which allows natural language generation of new visualizations, Auto Answers, which allows customers to ask questions of their data sets and dashboards, Auto Expert, which allows users to ask questions of our MicroStrategy knowledge base and log support tickets on our website, and our custom Auto Bot, which enables end users to access BI insights from within a
Thanks,
custom
Jared.
bot,
I really appreciate that. If you guys
standalone, or
click on that,
embedded
you
in
get a
any
membership for a
application.
month. Really
We also
appreciate it,
just
dude.
launched
Thanks, man.
Auto Express, which offers a simple way to trial our AI capabilities in minutes. In April, MicroStrategy ONE became available on Google Cloud Marketplace, in addition to prior deployments on Azure and AWS, allowing enterprises to easily find and deploy this cloud-native platform. Additionally, we expect to provide the ability to deploy MicroStrategy in a private cloud later this year. This will distinguish us from other BI platforms with the flexibility and automation that enterprise customers desire. We believe such investment and capability will encourage current on-prem customers to embrace the benefits of MicroStrategy. Clouds such as containerized architecture, proactive cloud management from experts, seamless backups, and single-click updates. Transitioning our customer base to the technology of the future remains a key focus, and our resource deployment underscores our commitment to the cloud-first approach. As customers and prospects move to the cloud to empower their AI-driven digital transformations, we expect to see a continued decrease in product license revenues, which will in part be offset by increases in subscription services revenues. This will be most pronounced in the balance of 2024. This may result in a decrease in total recognized revenue in the short term, but in the long run, we expect it to be more than offset by increases in subscription services revenue. Additional benefits include more engaged customers using our very latest software, higher retention rates, and ultimately more recurring revenues. As we discussed last quarter, MicroStrategy considers itself to be the world's first Bitcoin development company. We are a publicly traded operating company committed to the continued development of the Bitcoin network through our activities in the financial markets, advocacy, and technology innovation. As an operating business, we are able to use cash flows as well as proceeds from equity and debt financings to accumulate Bitcoin, which serves as our primary treasury reserve asset. We also bring our enterprise analytics software development capabilities to develop Bitcoin applications. We believe that the combination of our operating structure, Bitcoin strategy, and focus on technology.
Hey guys, I'm just sticking around to hear Sailor. This is all good. This slide deck's actually pretty fascinating. I'm probably going to go over this in more detail. Oh, and this is one of my favorites. So fuck whatever he has to say. I'm bored. But you got to see this. We're still early to Bitcoin. I haven't seen an updated version of this in a while. I'm definitely gonna copy this URL down at the bottom. So this shows Bitcoin at $1 trillion. It shows where gold is. It shows art. It shows the value of cars and collectibles, equities, real estate, bonds, and money. These are all the things that Bitcoin can take over as the store of value.
Cash flows from software operations.
Imagine what happens if Bitcoin takes 1% of the value of all these fucking things.
Equity issuances.
1% of 16 trillion. 1% of $330 trillion in real estate. If it takes just 1% of that.
We've issued $3.6 billion.
$3.3 trillion.
Issuance of both senior secured notes and convertible notes.
So you got to realize, guys, Bitcoin is going to consume all of this, okay? All of this. It's so incredibly important that you guys hear this.
In the first quarter of 2024,
yeah, I really want to hear Sailor. So I want to hear him walk through some of these charts. So we'll take a listen here. I just want to stick around for that, and then we'll move on.
Bitcoin holdings as well as our strategic use of equity and debt capital market activities. We began the year with 189,150 Bitcoin holdings with a market value of approximately $8 billion. As Bitcoin prices increased from $42,500 to $71,000 by the end of the first quarter, we experienced an increase of $5.4 billion in value based on our Bitcoin holdings at the start of the year. In addition to the incremental value from the price appreciation of the Bitcoin we held as of the beginning of the year, we purchased an additional $1.6 billion of Bitcoin in the first quarter, using proceeds from the issuance of additional equity and 2 convertible senior note offerings, as well as excess cash from operations. As a result, we added an additional 25,128 Bitcoin to our holdings at an average price of roughly $65,200, which generated an incremental approximately $145 million of value from the increase in the price of Bitcoin after those purchases were made through the end of the first quarter.
They made
Overall,
an extra 141 or $45 million in additional gains for the end of Q1 versus what they did with this debt structuring and all the stuff, the convertible notes, all the things they're doing. They just made an extra $145 million for the quarter because fuck, that's just how it's going to work. And it won't be hundreds of millions, it'll be billions in gains per quarter that these guys are going to experience in the future.
Demonstrating our track record.
There could be doublings in the fucking quarter. This company has over $15 billion in Bitcoin right now.
Illustrative example
imagine if they get to 25 billion and then it doubles in a quarter to 50 billion.
The baseline returns of any
things are going to get a lot better for MicroStrategy, and that will the amount of short interest on this thing, it's going to be fucking insane.
Offset by the management fees that are charged for those products. Leverage provides the opportunity to generate higher returns if the price increases. In this illustration, assuming Bitcoin price reaches
these guys are boring the shit out of me. I want Michael Saylor.
Count
Andy Zhao, totally right. MicroStrategy is up $6 billion from their Bitcoin holdings. How long before other companies like Apple, who has way more money than MicroStrategy, figure out how the game is played? These guys own bonds and shit already. Why wouldn't you diversify some of your currency-related risk and offset it by buying Bitcoin? It's totally going to fucking happen. It's going to happen this fucking cycle, and there's going to be some big names doing it because the small ones already are. They're just not talking about it. But they will be very soon in their quarterly reports. I'm sure each quarter that goes by we'll hear more. And this MicroStrategy event that's happening later this week, the Wednesday, Thursday stuff, I'll try and cover all the good stuff off of that. That's literally to do this. It's to recruit. They're gonna tell you all the people they brought on board that are holding this shit on their balance sheet now, and it's going to be a recruiting function to let companies know why they should be doing this. So you best fucking recognize that's going to come out positive for Bitcoin.
Thank you, Fong. I'll start with first a recap of our software financial results.
Oh, fuck, I still don't
for
care.
The first quarter, total revenues were $115.2 million, which was down about 5%.
All right, you're boring the shit out of me.
Year over year.
All right, I'm going to look at some other tickers real quick while we wait for Michael Saylor.
The slight decline remains in part due to our ongoing shift
I'll just bounce back
of revenue from on-prem to cloud.
Let's see what else we got.
Q1 on-prem product license revenues, which make up about 11% of total revenue.
Seen Sly, only miner I'm holding is CleanSpark. Now that Mara says they can and will fully fund their Fixie exahash, do you think CleanSpark has the upper hand as the best? Best miner is such a subjective thing. The best miner is CleanSpark by far, but they have less Bitcoin, and FASB accounting rules are going to benefit Mara more because they have a larger quantity, right? A much larger quantity. So you can't ignore that.
Which reflects stronger,
and they're shooting, I think CleanSpark is shooting for at least 30 exahash by the end of the year. Mara says they're going to do 50. I think CleanSpark gets more than 30, and I think that Mara gets less than 50. That's my guess. So we'll see. Hey, Jesse, just DM'd you on Twitter. I'm up $120,000 this month thanks to you. You're a boss. I appreciate you. You're very fucking welcome, man, and I'm super glad to hear it, dude. I hope you continue to make this tons of money.
which is our
I hope
fourth
all you guys
straight
do.
year.
If you
of
guys could,
quarterly
if you're here,
double-digit
again,
growth
if you
in
could
cloud
like, it
bookings.
doesn't cost you a dime, but if you could just
Q4
like
last year
this,
was an
I'm
important
sure there's probably
milestone
like
for
half
us
the likes of
in
the
the
people that are
progress
here, so
toward
it's greatly
cloud
appreciated
transition,
if you would do that.
where for the first time,
All
our
right,
subscription services revenues
Jesse,
were
truly
higher
want
than our
to thank.
product
So
license
who is
revenues.
Nick Young? Jesse,
This
truly want to
successful
thank you for the
trend
Tesla call
continued in the
options.
first quarter
Really
of
appreciate everything
2024,
you do. Can you look
which
at
reflects the ongoing progress towards
PANW
converting our revenue
today?
to recurring
Sure,
subscription
I'll do
services.
that real quick, and then we'll check and see if
The
Michael
mix of
Saylor is
revenue
back.
will continue to shift
He's
from
the only
on-premise product
person we
license
actually
to
want to hear
subscription
from.
services throughout 2024,
All right,
as we focus on
PANW. Is
delivering
this the Nancy
meaningful
Pelosi
AI-based
stock?
products to our
Yeah, Palo
customers,
Alto. Okay.
which is only available in the cloud.
All right, this is the one that she
We are
bought the dip on.
pleased with the
That was a
progress we
good
have
idea,
made from the
Nancy.
adoption from our
They're a $94
customers
billion
to our
company.
cloud
They have,
platform
do they have
worldwide,
earnings coming up?
and we still have
They
more to
have
do,
earnings
and we'll
coming up
continue to focus
on
on new products and innovation to
24th.
drive more demand in that space.
Let me see what they look like over here. I just
Beginning
can't.
with the first quarter
technicals
of
look like
2024,
whatever.
we modified our
Okay,
reported financials to
but the
break
fundamentals
out
are what really
our
matters. So what are their
quarterly
estimates?
results into two categories.
Still revenue growth, EPS
First,
still going
the
up. They had
software
this
business
one-off.
category reflects income or
Are they
loss from
buying their stock?
operations
They're not buying their
related
stock. They're
distinctly
actually
to
kind of
our
selling it.
enterprise BI software
Institutional ownership
business.
is kind of like bleh.
And the
Short
corporate
interest
and
is
other
dropping. That's
category
good.
reflects the other non-software
I wonder if this is
related
just kind of a
components
bore
associated
getting
with our
turning into a
digital
boring
asset
company.
holdings,
19% year
which
over
include
year, but I
impairment
think the
charges and
guidance
other
looks like
related
it's probably
third-party
lower than that.
costs.
They've got lots of cash.
While we continue to operate under one reportable
But they're a
operating
$94 billion
segment,
company,
which is
and they,
engaged in
on a normal
design,
quarter, make
development, and sales of our software
$194 million.
platform through
That seems
licensing
steep at
arrangements,
47
cloud
PE. I don't
subscriptions,
love
and
it.
related services.
That's my answer.
We
I think
believe this
it's a little
breakout of our
expensive.
operating results into these two
Hey, Jesse,
categories
wait, no.
provides
Top
better
4 BTC miners,
transparency
CLSK,
with
Riot,
respect to the
Mara, Cypher.
performance
I
of our
agree. That's
software
my top
business,
list.
while isolating the impacts
With probably, I
related
would
to
say,
changes in
Clean
Bitcoin
Spark,
prices.
Cypher,
In
Mara,
Q1,
Riot
the
is kind of
software
how I look
business
at them. Because
revenues
Cypher
were
could do really well because it's
$115
such a
million,
small cap.
as mentioned a moment ago.
Love your energy,
While the
Jesse.
cost
Money,
of revenues
time,
were
and
$30
health.
million,
What's most
up
important? Go rant.
7.4%
It's health
compared to
before all
Q1
else.
of last year.
Because if
The
you don't have health,
increase in
you don't have
costs were in
enough
part
time.
due to higher cloud
And then the
hosting
money's really
as
nice
a
because it gives you
result
an
of higher
opportunity for
usage
some
by
shit.
new and existing
But
cloud
it can also
subscription
make you
services
super depressed
customers.
because money doesn't
It was
do
also
much.
attributed to costs
After you have a certain
associated with
amount of
standing
it,
up an
you
enhanced
have all these dreams
customer
of how to spend
success
your money,
function
and then you
with
realize
an
this is
added
not that
focus on
important.
transitioning
Outside of a
customers to our
Cybertruck,
cloud platform, in addition to
that's
servicing
important.
and managing
But
our
helping
strong
people is probably
existing
better.
customer base.
Late to the show. Hey, why did
Software
MicroStrategy
business
miss big?
operating
They didn't
expenses
necessarily
were
miss big. They
$96.1
just have
million,
$15 billion
up
worth of
1.7% compared
Bitcoin,
to
and their valuation is
$94.5
like
million in
22
Q1 of
or
last
some
year.
shit. So
The
they
increase was
operate at a premium, and
primarily
it's
due
very
to
expensive.
higher
But hey,
G&A expenses
Lars
this quarter,
Strand, really
which was
appreciate the
specifically
tip, my
related
friend.
to an increase in
Hard to
employer
hear
paid
you over
payroll
MicroStrategy.
taxes
Don't I have them muted, or did I not mute them? Oh shit, maybe that doesn't work that way.
in the first quarter. However,
Sorry,
overall operating
I
expenses
muted them
were
for me.
also offset by
Let me
lower
try something here.
costs in sales,
Shit,
marketing,
sorry
and
about that.
R&D, also consistent with recent quarters as we made
Now? Can you hear me now? Just me? This whole time I thought this mute button worked. It's just controlling my local audio, not your source. So I've got to add another one for that, guys. So I'll do that in the future. I'll add another button in here and figure that shit out. Thank you, Beth, for saying that. You might want to mute during the earnings call. Yes, I should. All right. Are they saying anything interesting? Let me go back. Let me see it. Is it anything? Is it the boring fucking shit?
operating income from the core software business would have reflected $14.3 million.
Oh, fuck. It
in
hurts.
the first quarter.
Hurts my ears. All right. Going to mute again. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't want to hear the conference. The conference call is boring as fuck. I only care about Michael Saylor. And worst case, Chad is so polite, right? Yeah, say shit. But worst case, Wednesday and Thursday are going to be the fun days, guys, when they start selling the shit to other people, when they start pitching Bitcoin to everybody, when they start pitching their products. That's going to be the fun stuff, letting us know what cool new shit they're doing. Wild Frenchie, everything you said in the last 5 minutes, I'm sure that was great. You guys got to say something. All right. Beth, you rock. Yes, thank you, Beth. Beth is going to be the person who literally speaks up in the future. Kane, Sweet Intelligent, got a screenshot of that. I will definitely go find his vids. Much appreciated. Levi, guys, hit the like. Please, hit the like, guys, if you would. I just lost like 50 people from the stream because I was just talking over this fucking conference call the whole time. Funny. But thank you for Beth. God bless Beth. Yeah. So anyway, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, I looked up a stock, and I said that it wasn't. I looked up Pan W, and it's not a great stock because it's overvalued and it's got a PE that's too high. That was what I just did, and some other shit. Let me see. And I'm gonna hop back to Michael Saylor here in a second. I get so fucking bored with these conference calls when they just drone on about boring shit that doesn't really matter. And nobody really gives a fuck about 90% of MicroStrategy's business. It's a Bitcoin company. Sinsley or Sly, only miner I'm holding is CleanSpark. Okay, yeah, 50 exahash. Do you think CleanSpark has the upper hand and is the best Bitcoin miner? I don't know if you guys heard me. I think Bitcoin miners go in this order: CleanSpark, Cypher, Mara, Riot, and for different reasons. How are the technicals? Technicals for MicroStrategy? Good. They're bouncing off of a fib level. I'll probably buy some tomorrow if Tesla continues to go up. You can see it actually if you look over here. You can see where the little wick was, and it was just right on a fib. All right, I'm just reading through chat here. I'll get back to this. Let me just see if they're saying anything. God, I need to reorganize my buttons so I have a good mute for the audio on the call.
One are held at MicroStrategy, the parent, and also serve as
more boring shit. Okay, going back to this. Why did SoFi drop after beating earnings? Because the world is fucking upside down and they lowered their guidance for Q2 and they freaked out. That's what it is. And the Japanese yen is fucked up, or was fucked up temporarily, and there was a bank failure, Republic First Bank, not First Republic Bank from last year. So there's just a number of reasons. Jason G, do you think ARC G leaps are still worth it? I think they're fucking great. I think they're easy 10x's. And I'll probably make a separate video just refreshing the last one so that I have the latest prices in it so that people know that. Intelligent computing. And again, watch my options 101 video, guys, if you don't know how to use options. I don't use options all the time. I don't even have options right now on Bitcoin-related investments at all, crypto, anything. I don't think they're worth it. I look for asymmetric opportunities, and I look for one, and I diversify between them, and that's how I made 700% across my portfolio last year. I share all my trades every fucking day. I give you my portfolio allocation, albeit sometimes I'm a little late on updating it, but I'm working on it. I'm getting better. I mean, technically it took me 3 weeks last time, but I'm going to get better. Okay? I'm going to get better. Jason G, from what I heard, SoFi had an otherwise lackluster earnings call. It was actually all right. Noda was sandbagging and didn't mention AI. Yeah, he was sandbagging. He definitely didn't want to sell it. Right? Intelligent computing, Tesla hit the 100 moving day, 20-week simple moving average almost perfectly today. Things make you go hum. Yeah, it looks great. Albert, hi Jesse. 60% of my portfolio is SoFi. I'm thinking about selling 1/3 of at a steep loss and reinvesting it into CLSK and hold CLSK for the crypto liquidity cycle. Is it a bad idea? I mean, man, it's hard to know for sure, right? Like, this is why I'm so diversified, right? I don't have SoFi for me was what was it? I don't even know. It was like at peak, it was like 10% of my portfolio, and more recently, it was way less than that. It was like 5%, 6% before it dropped today, right? So for me, it doesn't really matter. I just added more money into it. And so because I've got other things like Tesla that went up a lot and I made 6 figures today. But if you've been butchered on it, I personally would wait if you had calls until, did you say you had calls? 60 people. Is it calls? Are you in calls? Albert, can you clarify that? If it's calls, I would wait until we bounce to 10 personally, myself. And then I would look to get into CleanSpark or something like it. Because Bitcoin could still go down over the short-term future, and you don't want to just go from something that just got fucking crushed, and then jump into something that that is going to get crushed, right? Like you don't want to do that. Real quickly, I'm going to take a listen here and see if we're back.
As of March 31st, 2024, the aggregate cost of our Bitcoin.
More boring shit. Sorry, I've worked for so many financial and software companies. I can barely listen to that shit anymore. Some people get off on looking at balance sheets and all the fucking financials. It's not me. Give me some pretty pictures. I don't fucking care that much. I want the actual data, right? I don't want to have to fucking needle through it. It's like why would you, if you could have AI and just get all the fucking answers, versus individually like coding every fucking line. I'm going to use AI, right? That's my take on it. All right, Johnny Utah, let the Tesla FOMO begin. Ha ha ha. Fuck yeah, dude. It started hard, didn't it? I told you guys it was coming. We went from the sky is falling a fucking week ago before earnings, just a week. It was just a week ago, to everybody like, Tesla, #1 AI company. Oh my God, China, blah, 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 blah. And then people like Gary Black and Meet Kevin are all of a sudden big Tesla bros again. I love it. I love it, guys. Just move with the narrative instead of figuring it out ahead of time. That's a really great way to be. Great way to invest. That's sarcasm. Edwin Reyes. I tried my first ever call based on your options video with SoFi. Was super cheap. I wish I had tried it with Tesla. Yeah, right? Using the option on the right investment. That's part of the hard part, right? And again, options are super fucking dangerous, guys. They'll wipe you out. You could lose all of it, whereas with a stock, you could just lose it temporarily and then get it back, like lose 90% and then get it all back. Options, if you're directionally wrong, it's just fucking poof. So this is why I only do it with asymmetric bets. It's why I don't have any in Bitcoin stuff, okay? And again, you got to get the right shit. So Guillermo Saborio, hi, do you have a near-term price target for CLSK and Mara? Near-term, it's hard to say. It's like 70% upside on both over a short period of time whenever Bitcoin decides to stop dropping, which I think is going to be fairly soon. Maybe Thursday, right? Maybe Thursday, because if you think about it, Wednesday, Thursday, we're probably going to get some cool shit from Microstrategy, and maybe that's when it stops. And then also, we got the Hong Kong and Bitcoin ETF and Ethereum ETF starting tonight. So maybe stuff stops, falling apart here soon. That's my take. Jesus, fucking hate it. Every once in a while, my screen adjusts, and then it's like, how far down am I now versus from where I was in the chat? I don't know. Microstrategy has great earnings. No, they did not have great earnings. TFI International, TFI, can you take a look at ZM? Let me see, we're listening to Zoom. Let's listen to Zoom, and then we'll maybe look at Zoom and T.
$64 per share across total equity raised.
Does Michael Saylor even talk in these fucking things? Who are these fucking people? They run the company or something? Jesus, boring. All right, TFI International. That's what we're looking at. We're going to look up TFI. And yeah, I looked up PNW. Basically, I said it was kind of shit because it's overvalued. I didn't say it was kind of shit. That's probably rough. It's a 47 forward PE. I think that's a little high right now. It's not an asymmetric bet. That's probably a better description, right? And I like asymmetric bets, so it's kind of boring. It could stop here. It could just meander here. Maybe it goes up to 341. Who fucking cares? It's not that much more. The mentioned Sailor won't speak till afterwards at the end of the call. Okay, good. Well, fuck that then. I don't want to be there if he's not speaking right away. We'll wait. Worst case, someone will have a recording of it. All right. TFI. Nope. Can't do it that way. Don't have this one. So I need to make a copy. TFI. So I got to build out my base for this thing. Who is this? Is it TFII? TFII. Okay. All right. Cool. Gotcha. Dropped. $11.47 billion company. Had earnings. Missed on... What is that revenue? All right. Let's look over here. Let's just see what the valuation is versus... I love this site. This is a site that I point to all the time. My friend Alejandro runs it. And... it's just a fucking cool place. It's very visual. I love it. It's easy to use. I'm paying for like a really expensive shit too, but I use this probably the most. $11.5 billion valuation. Forward PE is only 19. That's pretty cheap. But our revenues declining? They did, at least. They had a really strong increase. Then they started to drop. Let's look at estimates going forward. Ooh, it says we're going back up into it again. This is interesting. Who is this? Trucking. Huh. Trucking. Do I think trucking continues to do well in the future? I got to look at the transportation index more. I don't know what to tell you on this one. It's not a crazy PE. I don't know what traditionally what the trucking segment gets. It's probably all right. It's probably pretty normal. But it's interesting. It's probably one I'm going to make a note of, just because I need to probably check the Dow Jones Industrial Index a little bit more, anyways, because I haven't really been paying attention to transportation, and I'd like to. Does this look good for transportation sector? So I don't know. So I'm trying to figure out a little bit of this. I'd be curious what these guys' messaging is. I might take a look at their earnings when they come out. I don't know what to say much about the stock, though. It's finding a good support. I could draw some fibs here, too. It gets a dividend. It seems to find support off of previous layers, like it did over here, and then bounce higher. And then now it's went up. It's back testing this previous area. My guess is maybe it could go up, but it depends on the transportation sector and how they do. And it's nice to have a dividend. That's about all I got. Oh, I think I pulled that out from the screen. My bad. Not my A game today, guys. All right. Can you look at Zoom? I think I'm going to, let's see, what time is it? It's already after 4:30. I'm going to jump back over here to the call. I might hang out here for a little bit because I want to hear a sailor.
Return 937% in a period when the S&P returned 52%. And I think we just have to start with the idea of what's the right treasury strategy, or how do you capitalize the company? And you can see if you capitalize the company on bonds have a negative 21% return over this time frame. Bonds have a negative real yield. They're not returning the cost of capital. The best surrogate for the cost of capital, I think, is the S&P index, the 52%. And so if you were able to capitalize your company on the S&P index, you could maybe keep up with the cost of capital. What you can see here is that gold and silver don't really work. As the money supply expands, the S&P index tracks it, and gold, silver, and bonds underperform. Nasdaq is pretty close statistically. Why is Bitcoin better? Because MicroStrategy's performance is really based on Bitcoin performance to start, and I think Bitcoin illustrates a couple of principles. One is digital is better than analog. Bitcoin is digital property, and it's digital. So Bitcoin is outperforming because it's digital in a world of digital transformation. I think the second thing it illustrates is a commodity is better than a security, and Bitcoin is an asset without an issuer, which makes it a global asset. And a security will never be a global asset because security has an issuer has a company, and a company has a nexus and a country and has an operation. So Bitcoin's performed well because it's digital, because it's a commodity. And the third thing this illustrates is that a scarcity is better than a commodity. So the fact is, Bitcoin is commodity, but it's hard capped at 21 million, and gold is not hard capped, and silver is not hard capped. So commodities generally make very, very poor investments. The world has learned to invest in market baskets of securities like the S&P index, but it would be the wrong lesson to say that therefore securities are better than commodities. Securities have their own risk factors. The right lesson to take away is that something digital is better than something analog. Something scarce is better than something abundant, and something global is better than something local. And Bitcoin represents all of those things. In the last 4 years, it has emerged in the Western world as that global digital scarce commodity, i.e. digital property. Now, MicroStrategy, if it had just simply adopted Bitcoin purely, perhaps it would have had the same performance as Bitcoin. But how do we actually outperform Bitcoin? I think the key here is volatility is a benefit to us. And so we ability to issue securities such as convertible bonds. And the fact that we embrace the securitization of Bitcoin and we embrace the volatility of the asset class has given us the ability to raise capital, right? As you recall, we've raised billions of dollars of equity capital and billions of dollars of debt capital. We wouldn't have been able to raise as much capital without volatility. And you could see with our convertible bonds, we managed to raise $3 billion in convertible bonds at substantially less than 1% interest, really about 50 basis points, 0.5% interest. So MicroStrategy's performance is being driven by two things. First, we're raising $3 billion at 0.5%. Instead of paying a non-volatile interest rate, non-volatile, could be 8 to 10%. So instead of paying 8 to 10% interest, we're paying 0.5%. So clearly that's a big performance boost to us. And the second is if we were non-volatile and we didn't have an asset-rich strategy, we couldn't raise the $3 billion at all because a lot of times senior debt would be capped at some EBITDA multiple of some sort. So we would have access to a small amount of capital at a high cost of capital. So MicroStrategy's got a very low cost of capital and access to a lot of capital because of our particular strategy. But we're capitalizing on what clearly is the best capital asset, Bitcoin, in the world over this period. And the combination of those two things is what catapulted us to that 937% performance. Let me go to the next slide now. I would say this quarter, the first quarter of 2024, it's the end of the crypto childhood or the crypto cowboy era where you had 15 years of lots of confusion, chaos, and jockeying of thousands and thousands of crypto assets. Well, Bitcoin is the winner, and it is the one emergent institutional asset that has come out of that 15 years. Bitcoin spot ETFs were approved in January of this quarter, and that was a very big milestone. And as we go into this next quarter, it's pretty clear that Bitcoin is the only crypto asset that's going to be approved for sale in the form of a spot ETF in the United States. And so Bitcoin is very unique. It is the one crypto asset that has been embraced as an institutional asset. It's the one crypto asset that a publicly traded company can hold on its balance sheet, can capitalize upon. It's the one crypto asset that Wall Street firms are going to be able to sell on a spot ETF basis. The entire modern institutional asset economy, the options market, the securities market, the money manager system, the institutional mutual funds, the institutional ETFs, they're all going to be centered around Bitcoin as the digital property going forward. And so while we're at the end of the beginning, we're now, I would say, at the beginning of the middle. We're at the beginning of the stage of rapid institutional adoption of digital property in the form of Bitcoin. This chart shows that at the end of the first stage, Bitcoin is a bit more than $1 trillion asset. And from this stage forward, it won't really compete against other crypto assets. It will compete against gold, art, equities, real estate, bonds, and other types of store of value money in wealth creation, wealth preservation, and the capital markets. And as you can see, if you look at this chart, you know, probably some number between 10 and 50% of all this wealth is really just pure capital. The use case is store of value. Many people buy equities, real estate, bonds, and arts and other monetary instruments as a store of value, just like they buy gold as a store of value. Bitcoin as digital property is a store of value, but it's the emergent high performance, high volatility, high functionality, high utility store of value, and it's global. So we actually think that it's going to continue to grow from here. And this is kind of the second quarter of about a 40 quarter Bitcoin gold rush, where we're going to see Bitcoin embraced by more and more banks, more and more money managers, more and more nations. You'll see more Bitcoin ETFs in Hong Kong and Australia. You'll see more derivative products and other types of related products built on top of it, or you'll see it built into more things. And so the next decade we think is auspicious. We can go to the next slide. The halving just took place in a week ago, a couple of weeks ago, and April 19th, I guess, specifically. And when you consider the impact of the halving, it's pretty profound. First of all, it reminds us that Bitcoin is a scarcity and not a digital commodity only, because Bitcoin's supply is asymptotically approaching 21 million. As of now, Bitcoin has the highest stock to flow ratio in the world. So it is the hardest investment asset in the world, and the most scarce or certain. In the first quarter, about 2,600 Bitcoin a day were acquired by the spot ETFs that were launched. And during that time frame, we had about 900 Bitcoin per day sold by miners. But then following the halving on the 19th of April, we moved to 450 Bitcoin a day available from natural sellers, the miners. This is pretty critical, and you can see there is an imbalance between organic demand and organic supply. I don't think that the halving is priced in. I don't think that the market fully appreciates just how profound this is. But the chart on the right gives you a way to think of it, which is, if a large investor, a sovereign wealth fund, or a mega institutional investor decided that they wanted to buy 450 Bitcoin per day, and they were going to buy it at the market price of Bitcoin every day for the next 4 years, assuming the price of Bitcoin stayed constant at 60,000, they would have to invest $39.4 billion of capital. But if Bitcoin's price moved up at 100,000, it's a $65 billion commitment. At 150,000, it's a $98 billion commitment. And if the average price of Bitcoin in that time frame is 250,000, that's the same as $164 billion of capital being put into this network. So the network was chopping along at 900 BTC a day before the halving, but after the halving, you just have a very reflexive protocol change that is going to remove 450 Bitcoin a day for sale at any price for the next 4 years. And of course, there'll be another halving 4 years from now. They'll remove another 225 Bitcoin a day from the supply. And there will be another halving 4 years after that to move another 112 Bitcoin per day out of the supply. This is unique to Bitcoin. You won't see it in any other commodity in the world. You're not going to see it in any analog commodity because it's impossible. But you won't see it in any other digital commodity in the world because Bitcoin is the winner. Bitcoin is going to be, in all likelihood, the only digital commodity that is made institutional grade by a spot ETF in the American capital markets. So this is a profound insight, and we view this as being very bullish for the asset class. We can go to the next slide. MicroStrategy's approach is the same as it has been, but I think we're getting a little bit better at it, and I think we're starting to understand our unique advantages as time goes on. We are a Bitcoin development company in the same way that you might have a real estate development company. If you're able to create a company and then take it public and then issue securities in the capital markets in order to buy and develop commercial real estate, you would have an advantage over private companies doing the same thing, because public companies always have an advantage in financing. You would have the option to raise financing not just from banks, but also from the public capital markets. So we are a public company and an operating company, and that gives us a flexible, control or active control over our capital structure. And the second thing that we have is the ability to innovate with software development, and we'll be showing some innovations at our conference this week that we're very excited about. We're also unique because we can generate cash from operations, and as Fong and Andrew pointed out, we've been able to invest $825 million in cash to date in order to acquire Bitcoin, and we're able to leverage the capital markets. And I think we take a very balanced view toward capital markets. When we think it's appropriate for us to issue equity or raise permanent equity capital via shelf registration, we do that. And we've done that to raise $3.2 billion in equity capital. And when we think the markets are more supportive of us issuing debt, or especially convertible debt, then we do that. As Andrew pointed out, this strategy was very accretive in Q1, and the effective difference between the accretion of Bitcoin and the dilution of our share count was more than 8%. So if we're able to generate an 8% yield in a single quarter, then we believe that's going to support a premium to our underlying net asset value going forward, and it's going to allow us to find more accretive capital markets opportunities in the future that we will avail ourselves of to the benefit of our shareholders. And so in summary, Bitcoin's crossed the chasm to institutional adoption. Bitcoin is unique and is being uniquely recognized as the one institutional crypto asset. And MicroStrategy has now developed a very balanced strategy of acquiring Bitcoin with cash flows, with equity, with debt, and we're providing a useful set of public securities, both equity as well as options, as well as debt instruments that institutional investors can use in order to tailor their portfolio as they invest, whether it's long or short or hedged in the macro economy and the crypto economy, doing it on exchanges and in a way that's compliant with all of their operating charters. And that, in a nutshell, I think explains the MicroStrategy value proposition and our opportunity going forward. And with that, I'll go ahead and pass the floor back to Shirish.
I got to get that earpiece. Just so anyway, I jumped out of the conference call. He's done talking. Let's move on. I just wanted to say, so again, if there's 1%, 1% of $900 trillion in global assets goes to Bitcoin, that's $9 trillion. $9 trillion, it doesn't take $9 trillion to 10x the price of Bitcoin right now. It could do that with 1.5. There's something that people don't seem to understand. Money flows are the big deal. Supply squeezes are a big deal. Increased demand with supply squeezes are a big deal. When you have all these Bitcoin ETFs popping up around the world, you have countries all around the world that can't balance a budget and that are looking at parabolic expansion of their currencies, including ourselves. I mean, I think we're going to actually be all right, but I won't go into all that right here. But China is not good, and there's so many other countries that are like that right now that are already out there and just falling apart. So it's going to eat up all of that, guys. Like, why would you have a shit ton of money in a liquid asset like real estate when you could have it in a liquid one like Bitcoin, one where I think so, I had a post here earlier where somebody had spent or moved $900 million and spent $15 in fees. Try doing that with a bank. And then again, so it doesn't take $9 trillion to have Bitcoin 10x. It could take 1.5 trillion, but 1% of global assets would be 9 trillion. That you don't understand. We are so fucking early in this S curve. It has barely started to creep up. If you don't have Bitcoin, I feel bad for you, son, because I got a whole shit ton. All right. Anyway, what personal BTC bag is? I wonder what MS's personal. Oh, dude, so fucking much. He's been selling stock. He's been selling all of his fucking Class A shares and buying Bitcoin because the stock was more than 2x. It was at 120% premium. So he's brilliant. He's brilliant. He's a brilliant man. And this company will keep buying Bitcoin. And the way they're using debt to acquire it is brilliant. And other companies will start doing it. And this week is going to get crazy, guys. It's going to get super fucking crazy. Has 17,000. I'm sure he's personally got more than that now. I don't know. Unless you just said something about it, I think he's going to have a lot more in the future. But anyway, I got some things I need to probably post about Bitcoin here today. And I did want to say here real quick, I should pull up Bitcoin. Where is the Bitcoins? There's the Bitcoins. Let me just see here. I wanted to show a few things here, okay? On this note, going out on the sailor. And then I'm probably going to be done and call it quits early today, guys, because I'm fucking tired. But I will do a bunch of tickers tomorrow for sure. We'll try and get some of that out. I don't know. PayPal's going to take the forefront. Maybe I won't do tickers tomorrow too. Maybe if I have energy, I will. Earnings is just tough. But after earnings, we'll have plenty of that. But okay, Bitcoin. Bank accounts can be frozen. Real estate can be seized. Stocks can be confiscated. The only real asset is Bitcoin. The only real unconfiscatable asset is Bitcoin. I think that's what he should have said there. But it's the best store of value on earth. There's never been a better one that's been invented. Gold, it pales in comparison. Gold is the little bitch. Oh, you probably didn't hear me for a second. I'm back, Heinz. Compared to Bitcoin. It is that bastard fucking cousin that nobody wants to talk to. Fun fact, less than 5% of the global population is invested in crypto. Isn't that interesting? Whether you like Andrew Tate or not, I don't really fucking care. But this is interesting. And I don't think I like him. But the dollar's fucked. Real estate and most other investments, they'll take off once you don't comply with their tyranny. True. And the tyranny will become worse than ever. I don't know if that's true, but it could. It probably will in a lot of countries. Leaving Bitcoin, there's no other option. I do agree that if you're trying to avoid tyranny, that's the place to go. Oh, my bad. It was $550 million, and it was 19 in fees. So that's pretty expensive. That's sarcasm. Bitcoin is the hardest money on earth. Gold is probably more like 2% and 2.5% if you look at all the paper gold out there and all the other bullshit. It's heavily modified and controlled. And I don't know that we get a real number because it doesn't have a ledger where the stuff is documented. So we don't really know what the rate of inflation is. My argument is it's at least 10, it's at least 2%, right? Bitcoin is 0.84. So it is a way more scarce asset. Its inflation rate is much lower and it's a better store of value. I already posted the one about that. And again, Hong Kong, Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs tonight should be very interesting price action. I'll keep an eye on it. If I see anything fucking crazy happen, I'm definitely going to let you guys know about it. And I think outside of that, I'm probably going to bail and I'll leave you guys maybe with a little bit of Michael Saylor tune to go out to. But thank you guys very much for everything, and you take it easy, all right? See you tomorrow morning, bright and early, PayPal and Emit. Peace.
I've always been deeply opposed to crypto.
Last year, cryptocurrency funded every kind of dangerous criminal.
But I would not touch crypto in a million years.
Bitcoin is going to zero.
If I was the government, I'd close it down.
People are losing money in scams and huckster flim-flam artists.
These people who own these things should not own your money in any of those. I do think you're an idiot, okay?
It's over.
Go fuck yourself. What do you do? Go fuck yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. What do you do? Is that clear?
What do you do with the Bitcoin besides it just gather value?
Real estate developers in New York City, they're not buying the real estate because they want to live in it.
But like most of the people who are buying assets at some point want to sell the assets at a profit.
People that use fiat currency as a store of value, we call them poor. We call them poor. People that use fiat currency, we call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. There's a name for them. We call them poor. We call them poor. Okay? Right, like, the point is, if you have the superior asset, it's going up forever, Laura. Forever.
Right, but I mean, we can all look Bitcoin sort of as
forever, Laura. People that use fiat currency as a store of value, we call them poor. We call them poor. People that use fiat currency, we call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. There's a name for them. We call them poor. 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 Okay?
With time, a seed becomes a tree, sheltering us. With time, a skill becomes a talent, empowering us. With time, a technology becomes a tool, enhancing us. By nature, time gives value to almost everything, yet the very thing our society gives value to, our money, loses value over time. This paradox warps our reality by defying the laws of nature, and it stems from the belief that $1 today is worth more than $1 tomorrow, meaning money must always lose value. We built our reality off of this model. Time value of money, we call it, but in reality, this is just dogma. Since we can keep making more of it, we end up destroying our own purchasing power. So we put it in stocks, put it in bonds, put it in land, put it in funds, put it in crypto, put it in gold. But we are not oracles, so what do we know? We know that it's hard to get by. We know some people may never retire. Is time value of money a lie since it discounts the monetary value of our time? If time is money, how are they moving in different directions? We're working longer for less, we end up just giving away our freedom. Give up liberty for policies, give up our agency to the authorities. Because when our foundation is built on complexity, we simplify humans by giving up our humanity. Reality check, we've strayed too far from the truth. The world economy's a wreck when 1 + 1 no longer equals to 2. And if life's created from the truth, along the way something got screwed, and we let our own dogma subjectify value. We divorce action from consequence. We defy the law of physics when we make scarcity infinite. We disregard the language of mathematics. So our systems are built in a fallacy. Our society's based in a fantasy. In the absence of truth, we're living in the shadows of our own reality. And that's the root problem. Man-made rules can be broken. As our trust crumbles, so does the progress of our civilization. But one thing remains constant: no one can cheat nature. So why not use it to architect a stronger base layer? The most beautiful buildings engineered based on these consequences. Natural law drives rigor needed to build something enduring and compromising on principles that accounts for the flaws. Because when our lives are at stake, the gravity of truth cannot be ignored. So if our monetary systems were designed like structures, it would embody energy and matter, so the money itself matters. An unbreakable limit enforced by costliness of creation ensures the structure holds value for many generations. A rule-based system governed by maths builds a transparent ecosystem that can self-error correct. With no one in charge, no words are taken as fact. Only work from computation can actualize truth of timestamps, and like water flowing off a cliff down the path of gravity, computational energy makes time flow one way only. It is this irreversibility which gives value to our money by upholding consensus and scarcity to create one shared reality. Now the map is the territory. Now we're working with high fidelity. Now money is truthfully time and energy bound by finality. Now we have the ability to manifest each of our dreams and build a world that is much more reflective of all of our needs. And that's the purpose of money, merely a tool to shape our reality, merely a function to harness and express individuality, just a way to live freely, just a means for possibility. Because when we build on integrity, we enhance the beauty of humanity. The most beautiful societies are built from diversity of our thoughts that come to life when we're empowered individually. Because when our money tomorrow is worth more than today, we shift from predicting to creating the future ourselves. And when our money grows in value, we grow thoughtful in how we use it. Natural law drives rigor needed to fund something enduring, something truly worth it, something that pushes the sky's limit, something only possible when our real value and consequence exist in boundless virtual dimensions. Imagine potential creations, fueled by monetary life force, lasting for many generations. We will venture into new territories and unleash these possibilities once we learn to embrace the truth of our reality.